People, I know some people don't understand why it has been alleged that Jacob Zuma is the person who started with the load shedding. And they don't know why are people saying that. Let me just explain to you why is it like that. When I was still doing my research at ESCOM around the early 20s, there was a concept which was called pebble bed modular reactor. It's a kind of a development of energy expansion whereby there were modules that were used in a gas turbine, and those modules were being heated up by the nuclear energy balls. Now, that was initiated by a company called PBMR, Pty Ltd, is the name of that reactor in Potchefstroom University, Northwest University, and Pelandaba as well. So those people are the initiator of this pebble bed modular reactor. If we implemented that, we wouldn't have had the load shedding and we wouldn't be having an energy crisis like it is right now. Anyway, now, when he took over in 2010, he revoked the implementation or the processing or proceedings to be conducted or executed in order to have pebble bed module reactor being implemented. That was over with that. Now, what is sinister is that there is a company, a group of contractors from the very South Africa. I think they were involved in the initiation of the project. Now, they developed that further. They didn't discontinue. Now, that company, it's somewhere in US. It's called X Energy. And is going on with that. And remember, the moment you just associate yourself with US or UK or Europe, you must know that you are gone. You are gone. Nobody will touch you. You are untouchable. They are there right now under the name of X Energy. And as I can tell you right now, in the month of September, Donald Trump went to UK to meet the King and the Prime Minister of Britain, which is Mr. Braman. Now, the discussion is about developing that in UK. In other words, X Energy is facilitating the implementation of pebble bed modular reactor, but in small modular reactor, which generates something like about 6,000 megawatt. But there is a very massive development, a very brilliant idea that is going to happen in UK. Now imagine if we had that, if Zuma didn't revoke that, we would be still having that. It will be operational and it will be doing well. That company, X Energy, is being led by one of the guys. It's called Andre Pinar. Andre Pinar is the guy who is being alleged as the sponsors of those whites who went to Donald Trump early 2025, going to defame South African government that there it's a genocide of white farmers. And I don't know why didn't those people just explain that apartheid, the migration of British and the people from Holland to invade Africa or South Africa. That is an attribute to what is happening right now because apartheid impoverished black people. And as a result, black people are so many. There's a population expansion in black communities. So as a result, there is no employment. There is a high level of illiteracy. People can't get employed. They can't get decent jobs other than farming and these low paying jobs. So as a result, crime escalated based on that very concept of coming to South Africa exasperated the people, and that is why people are so exasperated and they commit crime. They couldn't explain to Trump. And they even failed to tell them that even black farmers are being murdered. It's not only white farmers. Black farmers are also being murdered, but they fail because, like I said to you, those people, they don't know anything. What they only know is just to talk a lot of nonsense in the parliament, wasting our money, getting hefty packs, people suffering, people don't have houses, people don't have food. They are encourage people to bear more and more kids. One person bearing something like 7 kids because each kid is gonna get 750. And I don't know what is it all about. What is the policy of South Africa? What is it that they are aiming at to have so many black kids with an economy that is at a cliff, a downfall economy like this because of corruption that is going on in government? So anyway, I'm not there. My point is, don't undermine the technology in South Africa. We've got a very, very brilliant and we've got a highly qualified scientists with innovation and who are very, very initiative, proactive, agile, resilient, all this you name, we've got. You go to universities, the research and development is up to scratch. I'm working there. That's why I know about this. I'm a researcher, by the way. Don't think I'm just an ordinary person. I'm a researcher. So we've got highly skilled people. But the problem is because of our government suppresses us from developing and advancing our country to world class. Right now, look at our idea. It's being implemented in UK. And the cost of that is about, they are going to negotiate about implementation of a small modular reactor at around the cost of 934 billion. That is the money that should have been brought here to come and advance our energy sector. We are still fighting, we are still struggling to get our energy sector in place. So you must be knowing that our government is the very government that is killing us. Our president right now, load shedding continued with our current president, Cyril Ramaphosa. And there are a lot of projects that are going on. Some of those projects are being carried out by his family members. Like, for instance, renewable energy is being carried by his relatives and his cronies. So you tell me, what kind of a government do we have? What kind of president do we have? They don't empower people. They only empower the few who are politically connected. It's not actually politically connected. These people have been politicians. Now they've been told, go, here's a tender of 500 million. Go and tender, get the tender and bring the money back to us. That is money looting and laundering. That is all what is happening in our government. You can just imagine a person getting a contract of 380 million, like the one that was cancelled by one of the guys who is politically connected, and we have been involved in a lot of corruption. I don't want to call names. Imagine if one person can be given a contract worth 380 million. Is it really empowerment? Is it really BEE? One person. Why don't they distribute this money? At least give each contractor 20 million, 10 to 20, 20. Then they'll be knowing that they're empowering a lot of people. Just think about the billionaires that we have right now. Those are people who are politicians. Those are premiers. I know two who were premiers. I know one was a politician, and I know some were ANC ministers, parliamentarians. That is not empowerment, people. These people are playing with us, talking about BEE have to be abolished. It doesn't work. Even this affirmative action is not working because they get people who are not qualified for the jobs, people who are getting money, getting work, bed for work or sex for work, and such a person, is he going to perform knowing that I got the job through this way, in a various way? It's not a question of trying to dehumanize people, but there is a fact, you know very well. They practice nepotism, and there is a whole lot of corruption that's going on. But anyway, I just wanted to highlight to you that don't be wondering why people say Jacob Zuma is the cause of energy crisis or electricity crisis in South Africa. That is because of Pebble Bed module reactor that he revoked. He rescinded that in 2010 after becoming a president. If he didn't do that, we'll be having much electricity, we'll be having foreign investment, we'll be having industrialization, we'll be having a concept of globalization, we'll be having less unemployment because we would get people from outside, foreign investment. Our infrastructure should be okay by now. You must remember that a lot of companies, they went down, some they closed, some were liquidated because of the electricity crisis, which was anthropogenic. So people, let us try and select or nominate or elect proper people who are going to lead South Africa to the brightness. You heard me, sharp.